Hey everybody, I just made a quick little video on my splits that I had to find the status on my queens that were virgins and they've returned mated. So now I'm just gonna go through the rest of my hives, do an inspection on them real quick, see if I need to add any boxes or anything, and just record it for you on the way. So my smoker's not lit right now, it died. I don't really care for the smoker anyway, I hardly ever use it. Unless they're very mean and feisty. But I'm just going to show you my everyday routine. Not every day, but once a week routine. We got some bird comb on here. Nothing too crazy. I do have a feeder in here because this top box was not drawn out. And I'm just trying to help them draw out some of these frames. Now if I do find a frame somewhere in here with a lot of comb that started, at least I will take that and bring it to this other nuke that needs some help. I'd really like a full frame of brood to help boost their numbers, but also to give them some room to lay. So this, you can see, doesn't have much at all. These are still drawing out. Last week I gave them some sugar water and you can see they're starting to build some comb. So I'll just continue to go through these. Once I do find the good frames of brood, make sure there's still eggs. If I could find the queen, that'd be awesome. If not, I'm not specifically just looking for her. Look at that. So there's some new comb on there. We've got honey on top. We've got some brood in here. Just kind of look around and glance, see what's going on. But they are drawing out this comb pretty good. Oh my God, this queen is huge. I want to show y'all this. She is one of the longest queens I have seen. And she's right here. Hopefully y'all can see this. I can't see my phone. But good Lord, look how long that is. She's right there. And she is just, look at that. She is long. So you can tell she's busy. She is in the top box as they're drawing out comb. She's in here laying. But I do want to inspect the bottom, see how that's coming out. So now that I see they're in here, I just want to inspect, see how it's all going. And just honey, nectar, brood. I brought this up from the bottom frame, from the bottom box to help draw them up top. And it's been helping because the frames right next to them are just, they're drawing out and they're full. And we got bees in here. We got some drone cells down here. Pollen. Nectar like crazy. I would actually put this in that small hive over there, possibly, because there's bee bread, there's room for eggs to be laid. But I'm gonna wait and see if I can find a better option. We're drawing out comb on this one as well, on both sides. So that's good. We got some capped brood, some honey. These yellow foundations, they are hard to see eggs. Now in the daylight, it ain't too bad, but when it's cloudy like this, it's kind of hard. I did order I just ordered 100 frames and 100 dark foundations or black foundations because I do like those. People say they aren't that good, but they work for me pretty well. And I'm open to trying new things, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Ain't that what they say? Something like that. But this is just an inspection on my hives. I have 10 hives now. This is number 3 for the morning. These other 2, I made sure the queens came back. They're laying. Now I'm gonna separate this, see if I can find a good box of brood. to add to this small nuke. Now my queen is in here, so I am going to lay my cover down and let them sit in there. I don't want her on the ground. If I didn't have a feeder in here, I would just lay it sideways. Alright, so we've got pollen falling everywhere. And we're just gonna go ahead and do a little quick inspection in the outer frames. Oh yeah, we've got drones, quite a bit of drones actually. Got a hive beetle that I don't like seeing. Kill them as you see them. They are starting to draw out at the end of this frame. But let's continue their little journey. And this video will probably just be this one hive because I have 10 hives. I don't have time to talk, and like I said, usually I just go see that they still have eggs. If they need room, add some room to them. And right now I just busted open some of their honey reserves, so they're probably going to be all over that here in a second. Look at that, this is all bee bread, pollen everywhere, packed. I don't know if y'all can see all the orange there. And over here we got some cat brood and lots of pollen as well. That's all mainly pollen. I need to find a good brood frame. There's a lot of larvae on this side. I need to find a good brood frame from a strong hive like this, so I could go ahead and move to that small split that I have. That queen did return, but I need to give her some room to lay, or else they're gonna find a place to lay. Okay, this ain't as heavy, so it doesn't seem like there's a lot of nectar. Lots of brood and pollen, and there is some space to lay. We've got some young bees on here. They are furry, so look at this, that's a great pattern right there too. I'm gonna go ahead and give them this frame, just because there's a little bit of room for her to lay. And there's nurse bees on here. We've got some bee bread, and they've got a lot of brood that should be hatching and will help boost their numbers. Not a lot of eggs. I don't see really any eggs in these small areas because it was all brood. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and give this to this frame of this hive over here. Now, I don't like to add bees, but these all seem to be nurse bees. They're all young for the most part. So I'm actually going to add this kind of in the center, and hopefully they'll accept it pretty good. It is all brood. I'm actually going to take this last frame out because it has nothing on it. I don't want to damage. Maybe honey on this. So I'm going to add this here. Now, when I did make these nuke boxes, they were a little tight. Now I know my queen's not on that frame because she was in that top box up there. I have made that mistake before, which is why all this started happening. And you can see how tight this is. I don't really like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is remove this last frame. It has nothing on it. I'm going to add that here. Leave all those bees there. And I'm gonna go ahead and scoot these guys over. So this is pretty much a 4-frame nuke because it is too tight to add 5 frames in. This was the first time I made nukes. After that, I made them with a lot more room. So by doing this, I added a bunch of, by adding that frame, I added a bunch of nurse bees, some space for her to lay some eggs, some pollen, and a bunch of broods. So hopefully it'll help boost that hive a little. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check this middle. I did kind of checkerboard these a while back because I've been pulling off of this. This is a good hive with a strong colony. So now I did add that second box last week, and like I said, they've drawn out probably about 5 frames already. I did feed them, but we saw the queen up there. She's laying. They're bringing in nectar or pollen and having nectar everywhere. You can see there's pollen everywhere. I think that's all pollen and nectar. So I definitely needed to add that second box on top. You can see here, you got some good brood over here, nectar over here. So we've got more brood all on these frames. So this hive is doing really well. These numbers are going to explode here soon because they are just doing great. So I'm going to go ahead and add this box back on top. Now I hate doing this because I squish bees every time, but that's kind of part of it. I'm going to try to pat it down, give them a little warning. That's pretty much what I'm going to do right now. They still got to build on about 5 frames up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, a couple at the bottom. They've emptied out this feeder, so I'm just going to let them be until next week. If I think, you know, they're ready to add more frame, you know, take this feeder out, add frames. There's nothing in it right now, so I'll actually go ahead and take it out and add 2 more frames for them to start building on, so I won't have to worry about it later. I've never used these plastic frames, but I did get them in a buy. So I did melt some beeswax and paint it on there, so we'll see how that turns out. So this hive had a big queen. She's doing great, laying like crazy, great brood patterns, lots of nectar, lots of honey, a lot of pollen. So like I said, I took that frame of brood out and doing good. So hopefully we're doing all right. That's all I'm going to do for this video. I may record my video of me going into my bean hive here in a little while. I just don't care to mess with it, and I'm going to do that at the end. So I guess check out and see if I actually come out with that video or not. Thanks for watching.